Before coding in C, we need some software in our system so that we can write and run our C code. We require a compiler as well as a text editor, or you can use an IDE. If you use an IDE, then you don't need to install a compiler separately, because when you install an IDE in your computer, the compiler installs automatically in your system. I know you are puzzled about IDE. What is IDE? Why IDE is used for? You can compare the IDE with your notebook. Like we write notes in our notebook, similarly we write programs in IDE. So IDE is nothing but a software that allows us to write our source code. After writing the code, we can compile our source code. Compilation simply means converting source code to machine code so that the computer can understand what is written. This IDE contains some tools that help us to debug our program so that we can find errors easily. And this IDE allows us to run our code and a lot more features. As you can see, IDE provides us a lot of tools. This obviously makes the development process faster and easier. All of these tools can be found in a single location known as IDE. CodeBlock, Dev C or C++, Turbo C or C++ are some popular IDE for C programming. But text editors don't allow us to compile our code. I mean, when we use a text editor, we must also use a compiler separately. We need a compiler so that we can compile our source code. Notepad, VS Code and Atoms are examples of text editors. In this video, we will configure our C programming environment so that we can write code in C. So without further ado, let's get started. First and foremost, we require a browser. You are free to use any browser. In my case, I have a Chrome browser open. First, I am going to install VS Code. If you are interested in using IDE, then CodeBlock is a good choice for you because the user interface of CodeBlock is good, or you can say simple. So, if you are interested in installing CodeBlocks or any other software that is used in this video, you will find all download links in the video description, and also I will put all the links in the comment section. You can download all of those from there. If you ask me as a beginner, IDE or a text editor, which one is good for you? Then my answer is totally depends on your choice. If you are comfortable in using IDE, then you are free to use IDE. If you are comfortable in using a text editor, then you can use this also. The code is the same for both. So it's better to use both as a beginner for a few days. After a few days, you have to realize which one is good for you. Okay? So as a beginner, use both IDE and the text editors. Now let's install VS Code. So for installing VS Code, I will search VS Code download. Open the first link. This is the official link for VS Code download. Now here, if you have a Mac machine, then you can download VS Code from here. If you have a Linux based machine such as Ubuntu operating system based machine, then you can download VS Code from here. In my case, I have a Windows based machine, so I download VS Code from here. Here you can see there are lots of options available. There are lots of links here, right? Which one we want to download? Now it totally depends on our system. If you are not sure of the system type you are using currently, you can go to this PC and right click on it. Visit the property. As you can see, I am running a 64-bit operating system. Maybe it is different in your machine. So I choose the 64 user installer. Now wait until the VS Code is downloaded in your system. Once the VS Code has been downloaded in your system, double click on it to install it. Let me close all the windows so that we can focus on the installation path. Here, accept the license agreement and click the next button. Just leave it as default for the destination folder. Just make sure you have at least a free disk space available in your PC and click on the next button. No need to change anything here. Just click on next. Check create a desktop icon if you want. If don't check. And don't forget to check add to path. Click on next. Now it's ready to install. We can click on the install. Now it will take some times to install. Now VS Code is successfully installed in your PC. Uncheck this box and click finish. Because VS Code is the text editor, we need a compiler, right? Now we open a browser again and search MinGW. Click on the first link, source fork. Now click download and wait. Now launch MinGW. Here click on the install button. This is the path where MinGW will install. Keep it as it is because later we want this path and press continue. Now wait for the MinGW installer manager to download it. 113 processed, 113 items. Now press the continue button. Now here MinGW based is compulsory to compile any C code. Other are completely optional, but it's better to install all of these because sometimes you want to compile C++ code, Objective-C code, so it's better to install all of these. And also you can read description from here. Choose and right click the mark for installation. Now go on installation and click on apply changes. Press on apply. Now it will take around 10 to 15 minutes. It will take. All changes were applied successfully. Now press the close button, but there is a catch. When I open my command prompt and type gcc/version, I get an error that's saying gcc is not recognized as an internal or external command. But when I go inside the C folder and look for MinGW, I find it bin. Now inside the bin folder, if I open the command prompt and type the same command and press enter, as you can see, it will now display the version. It means that GCC compiler is installed in my system, but it can't be found outside the MinGW's bin folder, right? Now we have to set this path. It's not like we have to go inside the bin folder all the time and after that we are able to run our C code. No, we don't want this. To solve this issue, we must add this path to the environment variable. Now take a closer look because many students will facing the same error. GCC is not recognized as an internal or external command. First, copy the path to the bin folder. Navigate it to MinGW, bin and this path. Okay. Now go to the desktop and right click on this PC. Property. Now select the advanced system setting. Select the environment variable by clicking on them. We now have two sections. The first one is user variable and the second one is system variable. User variables are variables that are only available for this user. If in my PC, suppose I have 2 or 3 users and I want this variable for only this user, then we use user variable. On the other hand, system variables are available for all the users. So I am going to update the system variables. Now click on the path and then click edit. Click on the new and paste the path of the bin folder, MinGW's bin folder. Now click on OK, OK, OK. Now if I again open the command prompt and type the same command and press enter, now you can see it will show the version. It means we set this path successfully. Okay, now let's configure VS Code for running C program. For that, firstly we need to install extension in the VS Code. Press the extension button over here and in the search bar type C++ and select the first option. Make sure it is from the Microsoft. It will install C debugging and code browsing support to install. Click on the install button over here. Now, in the search bar, type code runner and choose the first option. Now again press the small button to install. To run the code, you can press Ctrl plus Alt plus N. And to stop the code from running, you can press Ctrl plus Alt plus M. Now let's write some basic C program. Simply click on the Explorer. You have not opened a folder. Please do so. This VS Code only works on folders, not projects. Eclipse and code blocks work on projects. So instead of projects, we create or open folders. Select a folder. Assume I have a folder on my desktop called C Programming. I don't have any folder right now, so make one first. New folder and C Programming. Select folder and this folder would be available to you. You can create your own files in this folder. Assume I want to create a file first.c. It should be noted that the file extension for C program is .c. Now I am going to write a simple program that print hello world on the console window. Don't worry about this program. We will talk about it. You can run this program by clicking on the play button here. I will use the shortcut key Ctrl plus Alt plus N. This is the result as you can see of this program's hello world. You don't have to worry about this program. We will talk about it. You can also use the command to run our program. Like this. Clear. To clear our terminal. gcc space file name. In our case, the file name is first.c. As you can see, the executable file has been created. To run this program, // and the executable file's name. In our case, a.exe. This is the name of our executable file. You can also use / or /. Both are practical for you. If you look closely, you will notice that my program is not running on the output tab. My program is currently running in the terminal tab. So you can go to the setting. For that and scroll down or type the terminal into the search bar. And just click here, code runner, run in terminal. Okay friends, that's it for now. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.